The number of police officers who have died by suicide is greater than the number who've died in the line of duty. This year alone, 192 people took their own lives. Law enforcement leaders say this is a mental health crisis that we need to talk about now. And the commissioner of the New York City Police Department has decided to take action and roll out new initiatives in hopes of curbing this heartbreaking trend. Earlier this week, the commissioner, James O'Neill, announced that he is stepping down, but he is here with us today. Commissioner, thank you so much for joining us. When I heard your announcement that you would be resigning after 4 decades, right? It's 4 decades?
37 years.
37 years. And I thought to myself, 37 years, he's seen a lot. Did the number of officers who are taking their lives have an impact in his decision to resign? Did it have anything to do with it?
No, not directly. I have a great job being the commissioner of what I think is the best police department in the world. It's great. I've been a police officer for a long time. I know I'm the commissioner now, but I can still consider myself a cop. There's a lot of heartache for everybody, but I know why people become cops, and they become cops to make a difference and to do good. And we're not all perfect.
Well, you're
human.
You're human.
We recruit from the human race.
Yeah, that's your only option.
Right. That's it.
That is the only option. But there have been criticisms that some of the officers in the police union feel that initiatives and decisions you made their job more difficult. That you were soft on crime. That some of the decisions made within the upper ranks hurt the lower ranks.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly disagree with that. If you take a look at where I've worked and what all the people on my executive staff, all the 3-star chiefs, they've all been precinct commanders. We've all come up through the ranks. I started as a transit cop back in 1983 when the subways were not like the subways today.
Some believe the officers don't feel as appreciated and supported by the community. I know here in New York, there was an article that pointed to the death of Eric Garner, and that officers felt that those of them on the street were being abused by the communities. You said something very pointed. You ingrained and put yourself into the community to build that relationship. Is this a part of why we're seeing the suicides, that the people don't feel connected to the police and the police don't feel connected to the community?
So we've had 10 suicides in the NYPD so far this year.
This year alone?
This year alone. A friend of mine, Steve Silks, took his own life in June. He was a 1-star chief that was facing retirement. And right after that, there are almost 6 right in a row. And each time an officer takes his own life, we take a look at it. We do an investigation to see what led up to that, to see what the factors were.
Okay.
Was it professional? Was it personal? And each and every one of them is different. Being a cop is a hard job. There's a lot of stresses. But as I said before, we're human beings. We have families. We have financial pressures. We have relationship pressures. There's a lot going on in our lives, just as with everybody else.
Which is, this past weekend, an NYPD officer was found with a gun in his mouth. Thankfully, other officers helped him. But you make a great point again. It's not a one-reason problem. There are many reasons why these officers have taken their lives? There's not one single answer to this?
No, there isn't. And that's why it's got to be all of us. It's got to be all New Yorkers. It's got to be everybody in the NYPD. It's got to be family. It's got to be partners. If there's something that doesn't look right, if somebody's starting to act differently, and I know you're going to have other people on this show, we have a duty, a responsibility to let, if somebody's approaching crisis or in crisis, I think it's almost impossible for them to get help.